In 1960, the Sharpeville Massacre, where police killed 69 peaceful protesters, convinced him that peaceful resistance alone could no longer achieve freedom. In 1961, he co-founded Umkhonto we Sizwe, meaning Spear of the Nation, the armed wing of the ANC. It carried out acts of sabotage against government infrastructure, targeting symbols of oppression, not people. Mandela went into hiding and became known as the Black Pimpernel for his ability to evade capture. But in 1962, he was arrested and sentenced to 5 years in prison for inciting workers to strike and leaving the country illegally. 2 years later, during the Rivonia trial, he was charged again with sabotage and conspiracy against the state. During the Rivonia trial, Mandela delivered a speech that would echo across history. Standing tall and unshaken, he declared, "I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an ideal for which I hope to live for and to achieve. But if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die." These words defined his unbreakable spirit and transformed him into a symbol of courage for millions around the world. Mandela was sentenced to life imprisonment and sent to Robben Island, a small, windswept prison off the coast of Cape Town. There, he spent 18 of his 27 years behind bars, enduring harsh labor, isolation, and limited contact with his family. Yet even in the darkness of his cell, Mandela's spirit remained free. He educated himself and other prisoners, studying law and politics, and worked to unite inmates across racial and political divides. Over the years, his wisdom, discipline, and humility turned him into a father figure, not only for his fellow prisoners, but for an entire nation longing for justice. After intense international pressure and growing internal unrest, the apartheid regime began to crumble. On February 11, 1990, Nelson Mandela was released from prison. As he walked out of Victor Verster prison, hand in hand with his wife Winnie Madikizela Mandela, the world watched in awe. Instead of calling for vengeance, Mandela called for peace and reconciliation. He believed that freedom without forgiveness would only lead to more pain. Alongside then-President F.W. de Klerk, Mandela worked to dismantle apartheid and build a new democratic South Africa. For their efforts, both men were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993. In 1994, South Africa held its first democratic elections. Millions of citizens of all races lined up to vote for the first time. When the results were announced, Nelson Mandela was elected as the first black president of South Africa. His victory marked not just a political triumph, but the rebirth of a nation. As president, Mandela focused on uniting the deeply divided country. He established the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, led by Archbishop Desmond Tutu, to investigate past atrocities and promote healing through forgiveness. He invested in education, housing, and healthcare, striving to build a society where everyone could live with dignity and hope. After serving a single term, Mandela stepped down in 1999, choosing to set an example of democratic leadership. In his later years, he dedicated his time to humanitarian causes through the Nelson Mandela Foundation, promoting education, peace, and the fight against HIV/AIDS. His humility, kindness, and belief in humanity continued to inspire people around the globe. Nelson Mandela passed away on December 5, 2013, at the age of 95. His death marked the end of an era, but his legacy lives on in the hearts of millions. The United Nations now celebrates July 18th, his birthday, as Nelson Mandela International Day, a reminder for everyone to dedicate their time to making the world a better place. Mandela once said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." His life proved those words true. From a village boy herding cattle to a prisoner of conscience, and finally a president, Nelson Mandela's journey reminds us that greatness is born not from privilege, but from perseverance, humility, and love for humanity. He taught the world that forgiveness is stronger than hatred, and that one person's courage can indeed change the destiny of a nation.